Hello everyone, Travis Kessner with TK Lighting Design, here to present the possibilities of light. So if you're tuning in, you're in the right spot here. Um, Last recording I did for Lighting Design 101 was about 38 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this down to 30, go through it a little quicker. If you did see that other one, I'm sorry, this is kind of a repeat on some information. A lot of it is just kind of not really teaching about lighting design, but talking about what lighting design is so people know and understand the difference and can use it as a tool for their business or home based on what they're doing. Um, so if you want to learn some lighting design, I excuse me, I will be putting together a course here for lighting design, but that's not this one. This is just about what it is. But there will be a course later with 8 probably hour-long courses about uh, education on how to design, what programs to use, how to select your fixtures, how to place them, and we'll go through it and break it down piece by piece, and there'll be some notes and workbooks for you guys, and I'll have that here hopefully in the near future. But for right now, this is uh, yeah, just still basically introductory level, but more commercial focused, commercial slash residential. So a little bit about myself. I'm Travis Kessner. I'm 38 years old. I'm based out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Um, as you can see, I'm doing this from my house. Got my kids downstairs, post COVID, learning how to do that type of adjustment. And uh, I've been in the industry though for 15 years. I worked as a lighting rep, worked as a wholesale distributor doing lighting, and went on my own doing a lighting design business. And I feel like there's just this big gap where the homeowner or the business owner wants good lighting, but then people selling and pushing product just by habit push expensive product, and then they can't afford that, then it doesn't go. And then sometimes uh, the suppliers want to go after it and they start pushing inexpensive product and VE the design, and then they don't get the most out of their building. So I'm trying to help, still figuring out, trying to help bridge the gap between affordable and beautiful design versus like spending hundreds and thousands of dollars for fixtures. It'd be nice to help everyone out so they can get really good design without breaking the bank and benefit from quality lighting. So with that, this is Possibilities of Light, and we have an introduction here. You can see, don't just see the difference, feel the difference. Because lighting is not just about seeing, it actually creates feeling as well, too. We're very connected and in tune with how light makes us feel and how it makes a space feel, look and feel. And phone number's incorrect there. Have not updated. I'll have to get the team to update that. I'm just kidding. I'm the team, so uh, and I probably won't do it, but I'll just tell you it's 208-215-1003 if you have any projects that you would like to discuss. Email is accurate, website is accurate there. And so, what is lighting used for? Lighting design. Well, there's several things and several items. Ooh, I just noticed I'm recording on a new program here, so I see that the screen where I'm at is blocking some of the wording there, but that's okay. So lighting design is used for sleep and wakefulness, health and wellness, creating architectural impact, increased productivity, quality control, improved aesthetics, enhanced brand image, mitigating light pollution, and cost savings. Whoa, that's a lot of claims, I know. But a lot of it's true. You think about the last 300,000 years, we've evolved to the rising and setting of the sun, and our bodies intuitively are linked to the sun and light photons specifically entering our eyes, and it tells our brain to release a certain chemical which produces hormones of wakefulness and hormones of sleep. So if you can get lighting on your side to adjust with those specific times, you can actually help aid your sleep and wakefulness. Health and wellness, your sleep is on point, then that will really affect your health and wellness. And we also do things like eliminate glare, because 50% of your brain space is dedicated to vision. So if you're experiencing glare all the time walking around, then that causes headaches. On the flip side, if you don't have adequate lighting for the task at hand, that causes headaches as well and strain as well. Um, Creating architectural impact, you can really affect the look and feel and design of a space, an architectural space, the accents, the beams, all that just by the finishes, by well thought out, nicer lighting than the typical inexpensive ones. So, not saying you should be spending $500 or $1,000 a downlight. That depends on what you want it to do, but um, $80 to $150, yeah, there's a big difference, and they perform a lot better, and they're doing a lot of different things. And we'll try to get into that here too. Um, Increased productivity. There's lots of studies that show the benefit of having large amounts of light, again, because it promotes that wakefulness when there's the whiter light during the day or more light, and it allows us to be more alert and be able to move around and see our environment better. And uh, yeah, really good example of this is like schools. They do studies where they put in adequate lighting levels in schools, and the kids actually test better. Um, Quality control, that's where task lighting would come in. Maybe you're not lighting the whole facility in a manufacturing facility to 100-foot candles unless it's a safety issue and a requirement, but maybe it's 30-foot candles and you're keeping fixture count down. But then over the quality control area, you have task lighting and you have a specific light that's thrown down 70 to 100-foot candles on the task plane so you can see and check for defectiveness. And that light has full spectrum, meaning equal colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet to help show the actual finished product. Because if it's missing some of those colors, the light, then your finished product is going to look very different than when it goes outside into the daylight, which has the full spectrum. Improved aesthetics, light can greatly affect the way a place looks and feels and improve it. Enhanced brand image, you can use lighting to make your brand stand out. And then mitigating light pollution, that is, again, designing around glare, light trespass, so your light's not going over to your neighbors. Cities are big on that. Sky glow, trying to prevent sky from, because light bounces, hitting the asphalt, bouncing up in the sky so we can't see the stars. Um, and there's light pollution because then again it makes it harder for people to sleep. And there's animals too that don't have the same similar biology operation, but they don't have curtains to shut the light out. So um, it is something that we definitely want to think about. Cost savings. Uh, Best way to save money is have your lights turn off. Lighting control when it's not being used. Have it so it shuts off, especially in those parking lots to help eliminate sky glow and those types of things. When no one's around at midnight driving around, have occupancy sensors so they automatically dim down. Maybe they're just at 10% for safety or 30%. You can program them after the fact. Um, uh, you know, Fixture spacings, picking out specific fixtures with optics so you're not having to throw in a whole bunch of fixtures to get the same light level. Instead, you have them focused so it's getting a lot of light down to the ground and you can actually place less fixtures. And that saves cost as well by planning out like that. So lighting layout versus lighting design. Here's a typical lighting layout. You can see it's 4 cans and a fan. And this is for those of you who recognize it, yes, the Unreal Engine training program room here. I like it. I wanted to use it. So I thought it was pretty cool, simple example to use. But this is the way If you put 4 just omnidirectional lights and plus a fan light, it'll be nice and bright. There's nothing wrong with that. But the difference is lighting design. Uh, and this is takes a lot more effort and detail because usually you're having conversations with the contractor. You need to build a drop ceiling to hide up these light bar slims or LED channel tape lights. Maybe it's a narrow fixture with optics, so it looks like light is bleeding from the ceiling. You get a specific fixture that can do a wall wash, you know, uh, uh, downlight that's has optics to it too to focus in on this chair. That's the difference between lighting layout and lighting design. And you can see here the wall back here, you get texture and shadows and depth. It's all showing up, even the chair. Versus back here, you barely notice it because it's all just washed out evenly with light. It's very uniform. And then over here, you get shadow on the wall here on the underside and light on the upper. So what is great lighting, product, service, or skill? Think interior design, but with lighting. Hence, services are creating an experience, productivity, energy, mood based on user and environment relationship. You can do lots of different things with lighting. Let's see if this video plays. I don't think it's going to. That's right. I'm already kind of back on my time here, so I'm going to go through it. So what does lighting say about the facade of your building and your brand? A lot of lighting around here, they put on those inexpensive wall packs and it floods out and it's light. It's very bright. That's okay, but that's the light pollution. That's also not very attractive. Uh, it's glare. Uh, and again, I'm not saying that you should never do that. There's obviously times to do that, but there's also, and we can do that too if you want it done on the plans. And if you want, you can try to put a little bit more effort with the right team, the right design team, the right architecture firm, the right contractor who wants to spend a little bit more time on the detail and these types of things and make the business stand out or the home stand out. You start layering in the light. You have a glow up top. Maybe some uh, in-ground lights, bullet lights, creating that light shadow appeal. You get some vertical lights drawing attention to the vertical columns, inner glow, and this is all warm 3000K, 2700K. It creates a very different feeling. And then you can actually do color too. So then maybe your brand has a specific color, and you can match that and put your logo on there. Kind of get really creative however you want, and then you can do color changing so it changes. Maybe you want to support your local PD, so then you have it change to red and blue. Maybe you want this Christmas, and then so it's programmed automatically to do that during the month of December. Yeah, there's your logo. That building looks, I think, a lot nicer than the first one. Lighting in layers. What are the layers of light? Ambient, accent, task. Now these are the first 3 layers. A lot of people are familiar with that if you're in the lighting industry. Lighting controls is still fairly new to a lot of people, but I consider that a layer that is essential in order for a lot of this to work. Because technology is updating. That's hard. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want the smart home. I don't want it to be all this, and I don't blame you because there's a lot of don't want the kids on screens all day long. And I get that too. I struggle with that because I have 4 kids myself. But then I'm sitting there not allowing them to be on the computer while I'm working on the computer designing. And it's like, wait, what am I, how, how am I supposed to work and teach them that they don't need to be on the computer? So it's one of those things. And then, so I think even just especially with the lighting, there's so many moving parts, and it's so much of it is electronic now. It's LED. You gotta have, if you want to do the layers of light, I would highly suggest controls. And we partner up with custom integrators, uh, maybe even lighting reps that on the commercial side, um, to help design the controls, the lighting control package, and they're selling the product because a lot of this needs to be able to be scheduled and turn off and on automatically. And if you're doing a lot of those layers, you want it to. You don't want a bunch of switches all over the wall and have to turn them off and on, and then dim them at a certain level every single time you come into a room. You want to just walk in, and it's either doing it automatically or you press a button to override it, and it's just a single switch. It's really handy. Um, Lighting biology is the fifth layer, and that's the part I'm talking about that's not a lot of people know about. I don't know if there's any fans of the Huberman Lab podcast. I love listening to them. I know there's lots of other ones out there, but you think about the electric light bulb was only invented 150 years ago, and we've been around natural daylight evolving to it since we've been human species. So there's a lot of unknowns about it, and the more you can educate yourself from a reliable source, the better. If people are constantly afraid of blue light, um, that's a myth. Uh, it's not going to hurt or harm you. The problem is that at the time of delivery of the blue light, uh, that's what keeps you up and keeps you from sleeping, from melatonin. But blue light during the day is great for you because it helps. It matches the 10,000 K sun's blue light, and it actually promotes that wakefulness and alertness, and you can actually leverage your own biology. So it is more money, but there is actually technology out there where you can have tunable white lighting and have your electric lights adjust to mimic the sun on the inside of your home. Excuse me. Um, so that's the old terminology and language of the layers. But if we change the layers definition, we change how we think about it. So all of a sudden, the ambient lighting becomes aesthetics and glow. This is the light that fills the space. Accent becomes creating a feeling and branding. Task lighting is performance and quality control. Lighting controls is adjustability and cost savings. Lighting biology equals health and wellness. You take those first four and uh, put them together, and that's what you get is the health and wellness. So you look at this space. This space has no layers of light. It's just being flooded with light, and it's glare, discomfort, poor color, no depth, poor sleep, strain, and overall unattractive space. That's the quickest way to crush your melatonin is have bright overhead lights. So but you want bright overhead lights during the day. It's just being able to have the opportunity and the ability to have those off or adjustable, even just dimmable, so they're not so bright at night, and you can still see what you need to do. Preferably, hopefully, some step lights, guide lights, so that way you can get to your space without being waking yourself back up. Here's this again, the Unreal Engine room, feeling and performance, accent light, feeling and wayfinding, you know, attention and glow, feeling and glow, accent and branding. You can put your sign up there and wash it with light um, to draw people's attention to it. And then you take all this and run it together. There's a lot of wires. Maybe it's wireless, but a lot of programming behind the scenes. But then you'll lump it all into one central switch location. So that way it's something that can be controlled with ease, and you're not having 15 different switches on there. Because otherwise, if you don't want lighting control, I would not suggest doing a ton of layers. Maybe 3, 4 layers in your kitchen, living space, and keeping it down to like 2 layers even in your bedrooms and hallways. That way you're not having just a ton of switches everywhere. Our process: contact, proposal, meeting, design, deliverables, and referral. So there's a process. What we sell is lighting design is selling a service. We're not selling the material itself. We're selling the service of designing lighting and drawing up the deliverables, the documents. And first, to kick it off, we contact if you have a project, and then we put together a proposal. You accept that proposal. Then we have a meeting, and then it's a design. And then the design part is where we work on it, and then we give you your deliverables, which are basically the plans that you follow for installation and services. Contact, you can follow us on Instagram, TK Lighting Design, Facebook, our website is TK Lighting Design. If you have a project specifically that you want to work on, phone number is 208-215-1003, or my email is tkestner, TKAESTNER at tklightingdesign.com. We would love to help you out. Proposals, we can do custom proposal, however you want. These are just kind of estimates if you're putting it together, but really we can get pretty competitive based on the size of your commercial project. And residential, these ones are fixed. They're $1.25 per square foot for the essential design package, $1.50 for the executive. And executive gets you some of those renderings that you've seen here at the beginning. If your architect has provided 3D modeling of your home, we would render in the lighting and show you what it's supposed to look like in specific areas, maybe somewhere you want that more focused design. And then the essential is not any renderings, but it's that design kickoff meeting, and then it's usually 3 to 4 weeks, and you get the deliverables after that, after we've talked over and went over everything, room by room, basically a 2-hour discovery call on what you want to do in your space. And that's not the higher end design. If you're going to want to do a bunch of layers, a lot of creative artwork, and you need to see what it looks like, that's a lot of work. So that's the exclusive series, and usually we customize that quote. Sometimes it's usually between $250 to $350 per foot, and it takes 4 months. And after deliverables, if you want to make changes, we do an hourly rate after that. Meetings, we have a meeting to go over it after you accept the proposal. Like I said, if it's the executive one, we do 2 meetings. We do send out a schematic design, and then we have a meeting, whether it's virtual, phone, or a lot of this we can do remote, by the way. So I don't have to be there. If you have a project that's not in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and you want lighting design, we can set up a Zoom meeting and have a conversation about it, and go over the process of sorry, my mind's drawing a blank. Been talking a lot here, but yes, go over the process of your project remotely. Yes, on to the next one. I'm not gonna sit there and fumble more. Design phase is where we come up with the concepts, and we're coming up with ideas, whether that's through rendering or Pinterest. A lot of picking out products and trying to put together how it's supposed to look, maybe the look and the feel of it. There's some really cool facade designs there. Yeah, I love that. This, you're like seeing the light source itself, and then there's a up-down wall sconce on each column. This is, you're seeing the light source. And then something like this, see, the contractor probably built a molding piece to stick out, and the light is inside, so there's a glow emanating from it. It's a different, creates a different feeling. Just some other different design concepts here. Landscape lighting, instead of just the typical downlights, you got light in the ground, linear, going along the walls there, shining up. Very cool. Facade, you can do the line of light, or you have the light itself bulleted and shining back onto the building. Lobbies and retail, lighting is great for branding, also drawing people's attention to point of sales. The point of sale and your retail, you want that illuminated so people can look at it and see it, or they're drawn to it. Again, we're coming up with the plans here, and then deliverables are the lighting sheets, the fixture submittals, and the bill of material. And if you prefer, we can design and do the layout with all the fixture placement types and leave out the bill of material if you want to provide it yourself. If maybe you're a product rep doing sales, or maybe you want to take it out to bid to other product reps and give them a shot to put it in based on the design. Source the product yourself or figure that out. We can do that. Maybe if you want to generate the plans, and we can come in and put your logo here, so that way it looks like you designed it as well too, and that way you can run the show with the customer. A lot of times, honestly, we prefer that because we're strictly in-house design here, and that's our main focus. But we can do it several different ways for you guys. And that's it. Kept it under 30 minutes, yes. Again, my name is Travis Kessner. Phone number is 208-215-1003. Email is tkessner@tklightingdesign.com. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help out, and I hope you found that useful, just like an introductory level to what lighting design is, how to use it for your residential or commercial space. And it's very different than lighting layout, and we can do lighting layouts as well too if that's what you guys want. Maybe it's a mix and match. In this space we want just the typical downlights, but in this space, maybe this is a meeting room, we want this to feel, we want the layers of light. Maybe there's 3 layers: an indirect cove light with a conference chandelier and some wall sconces, or something like that. It can be kind of as creative as you want. And excuse me, yes, look out for soon. I'll be having some actual design courses. So if you're interested in learning about lighting design and becoming a lighting designer yourself, this is not anything separate, like saying that you're a certification, like your LC certification, or anything like that. But it's more if you're creative and want to think differently, because the book I got for my LC is like literally that thick, and you gotta study it and do all these things. But I kind of want to give power to the people. I think that you can design lighting yourself, and I see a lot of people buying lights themselves anyways. So through box stores, I think it'd be powerful just to educate them and even designers on some ways to think about lighting and lighting design, and do it themselves. That's different than kind of the old ways we've been taught in doing it. It has that structure, but sometimes structures are made to be freeform and tweaked a little bit. So there's some cool programs and things I'll show you that you can use to benefit your projects. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and thank you for tuning in.